Hello, valid parenthesis. It is an easy level question. We have to just you can stack all this. We have given a string containing characters of braces, square brackets, round brackets, curly brackets. We have to see that whether an opening bracket is just closed by its closing bracket or not. If it is, then we have to return true. We have to return false. Let me give you a clear example of. We have given a string s like this. Here you can see this curly bracket is closed by its curly bracket, like this is an opening curly bracket, it is an closing curly bracket. And if we remove these two, then we will be having this curly bracket and adjacent to this curly bracket, and we can remove these, and after that we will be having and its closing curly bracket this, and we can also remove this two. Then we will be having curly bracket and its adjacent is this closing curly bracket. Then at last our string is empty, so we can see that if we are having our string empty, then we will return true. If we are having left any character or any bracket left in our string, we will return. I hope you ask. So we had made our temp name stack. We'll just go one by one to all the elements. Let me first erase these. We will go one by one to this string as characters. Like first we are getting this square bracket, so we will just place it in our temp stack. Then we will get this round bracket, then we will place this here. We get this curly bracket, place it. Now we get this curly bracket of closing type. Whenever we get any curly bracket or square bracket or round bracket closing type, these are all closing type brackets. These three, this is a list of closing curly brackets. Whenever we will get a closing curly bracket while traversing our s string, we'll check the top of our temp array. If our temp array's top element is the opening bracket of the closing curly bracket, what does this sentence mean? If we are here, we see that this is of closing type. Okay, fine, we found a closing type curly bracket. If we found a closing type curly bracket, then our first step is to check the top of temp. What is the top of temp? Top of temp, and this is the opening type of this curly bracket, so we will pop the top element. Now our stack will here one square bracket, one round bracket. Now we will move further, and we found this curly bracket of closing type. This belongs to this list, so we will again check the top of our temp, and top of temp array is matching with this, so we will again remove this. Now we are having only this in our temp array. Let me erase. Again we are having this closing type curly bracket, and it belong to the bracket top of our top of temp having only one, this like opening and curly, so we will also remove this. Temp is empty now. Now we will move further, and we are having an opening round bracket. We append it, After this, our last bracket is closing round bracket, and it is of closing type. It belongs to this list, so we will check the top is matching to this, matching, so we will just pop this element. That temp is empty. At last we will just write one sentence: if temp is empty, then return false. If temp is having any character, then we will return false. Otherwise we have to return true. Now let me show you the code. This is the code. So firstly I declare a stack partition. Now we are iterating over this string for I in S. If I belongs to part of our brackets, in a list in which head make closing element, closing character, closing square bracket, closing round bracket. I is this, then what we have to do? We have to check stack top, stack minus. If I is this, means if I is having a square round bracket or round bracket or bracket, then top, stack top is belonging closing type, and we will just pop in that, and else we have to just append that character. At last, true or false, depending whether the stack is empty.